It's no news that exercise or a balanced diet are beneficial for focus and productivity. But what if you don't have the time for a workout or your intention to cook a wholesome meal turned into a sandwich? Well, there's something extremely effective that helps you avoid the afternoon slump and find your flow for a productive second half of the day. Stay tuned. Hey folks, great to have you back here for another video. My name is Jonas, I'm co-founder of FlowLab, a mental fitness app dedicated towards helping you to best yourself and achieve more flow states with guided meditations. If you like, you can check out the app and get 50% off the yearly plan. Just follow the instructions in the description. Also, I'd really appreciate if you subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy our content. If you're a morning person, perhaps you've experienced that too. A new day has just begun and you're itching to get started. So you plan the upcoming day, maybe write a to-do list and have quite a few things you want to accomplish. On good days, you get things done in the morning and manage to maintain your focus on the things that matter until it's time for lunch. Because when you detach from work to eat or relax, it suddenly becomes a tremendous challenge to refocus again and find that same level of dedication and focus for the second half of the day. Your thoughts keep wandering, maybe you're a bit tired too, and you only get a fraction done of the things you intended to do. I thought about making a video about the perfect lunch break routine, how I adapt my nutrition, do a workout and a few stretches, and perhaps a relaxation technique. But to be honest, in this regard, there's a lot of room for improvement in my own routine too. Still, I found one extremely effective tool that helps me reattach to work and find into a motivated, focused state after lunch to get the most out of the afternoon hours, namely the state shift. It's about becoming aware of the unproductive state you're currently in or that you might just be about to slip into and channeling your thoughts and emotions in a goal-oriented direction again. Because over the day, our level of motivation might change, and especially after mentally detaching from work during lunch, at least that's how it's supposed to be, it's not unusual when we tend to habitually tap into an automated downward spiral of unproductivity. We're a bit sluggish, perhaps still preoccupied with whatever we dealt with during lunch break, so we're distracted more easily, keep our phone within reach, therefore work in smaller chunks of time while our motivation dwindles away bit by bit. With state shifts, so actively identifying an unproductive state and regulating ourselves mentally and emotionally, we can break this automated loop. I know it might seem like a less tangible tool at first compared to, let's say, a 15-minute workout or a specific breathing exercise. And yet it's maybe even more effective once you manage to optimally use it and also much quicker. So how exactly does it work? In order to know what it is you need to become motivated and focused again, you need to become aware of what is holding you back. In flow theory, the octant model, sometimes also referred to experience fluctuation model, defines 8 states, 7 of which are keeping you from finding productive and fulfilling flow states. If you've watched our other videos, you've probably come across the flow channel. The axes here define the same, our skill level and the challenge level. But this model here is a bit more complex as it breaks down the state of overwhelm and boredom into more specific states. Closest to flow on the left-hand side is stress. We're a bit too activated, perhaps nervous or tense to find the ease and natural flow of thoughts needed to get in the zone. Moving further away from flow, when we rate the challenge high and our skills low, we feel anxious, panicking how we can possibly tackle the task ahead. With a somewhat difficult challenge, there may be more worries than anxiety, where we brood over the task awaiting us and whether we can meet its demand. The complete opposite of flow in this model is apathy. If we're indifferent, lethargic, apathetic, entirely immersing ourselves in an activity seems like an insurmountable challenge. So we're on the side of feeling under-challenged now. The task seems relatively easy, and when we rate our skills to be fair, we're likely to become bored. It's hard to stay on task and to motivate ourselves. As the task demands and our skills increase, we might find ourselves in a state of relaxation. We know we'll be able to handle the task, yet it's not stimulating enough for us to really become absorbed. And even for the field closest to flow on the right-hand side, control, we may struggle to get in the zone because we're kind of in our routine. We know what to expect, feel very secure in what we're doing, and simply lack a challenge. As you can see here, we really need the ideal amount of challenge relative to our individual skills to optimally use our resources and unleash our full potential during flow. This model can be a fantastic guide to first identify our current state and then choose the tools that help us move closer towards flow. Before getting back to your desk, I'd suggest building a routine of asking yourself where you'd locate yourself in this octant model. Is there a task or an event awaiting you that scares you? Are you bored because your task is dreary? Or are you generally happy with your task but feel so in control that you work on autopilot mode and don't have to use all your brain cells anymore? Because once you've reflected on that, you can start to actively prime yourself mentally and emotionally for the afternoon. Of course, we could also regulate ourselves physically, which can also be a great way. We've talked about that in other videos, one where we give 5 breathing exercises to relax, which are great for any of the states on the upper half of the octant model, and another with 5 activating breathing exercises for laser-like focus, ideal for the states on the lower half. But today is all about mental and emotional preparation for flow. So what you want to do next is find guiding questions that make you shift your attention in a positive direction. When we talk about how to avoid the afternoon slump, I tend to locate myself somewhere between the fields of relaxation and control mostly. I'm not overwhelmed, I'm rather a bit too lazy, a bit too comfortable. So in this case, I try to initiate a state shift by asking myself, for example, how I could challenge myself, how to make the task more difficult, and how to push myself out of my comfort zone. For example, by setting a stricter deadline for myself. Or if this isn't possible, perhaps there's a way in which I can approach the task more like a game. Ideally, not only reflect on these things on a rational level, but also try to vividly imagine these positive outcomes in your mind's eye to also initiate an emotional shift. Mental imagery is thought to make you access the emotional level, so maybe you'd like to combine that with a small meditation. We have the flow session Mental Playground in the training area Drive in the FlowLab app that takes you on a mental journey to practice exactly that, breaking out of your habitual thinking patterns and learning to approach your task more like a game. Or sometimes I try to move from the field of control or relaxation closer towards flow by sparking my curiosity. For example, I ask myself, what is it that I don't know yet about the topic, the approach, about myself? What are new aspects I can learn about? Sometimes we can think broader, get inspired by other occupations on how to approach a certain problem, for example. And in other situations, we can think ourselves even deeper into the task. Look closer at the details, pretend to approach the task for the very first time so we can become aware of the gaps, mistakes, and things that can be improved. So this is one of the state shifts that help me use the afternoon hours more productively. But of course, I'd be really interested to hear where you would locate yourself mostly and which questions could help you to shift your state and move closer towards the flow channel. Just leave a comment below. If you practice the self-awareness and emotional priming on a regular basis, you'll see that adopting this positive, goal-oriented mindset will become much more automated, and you'll be able to shift your state in no time. What's behind this is our brain's neuroplasticity. Our brain changes with our experience. The more often we use certain thinking, feeling, or behavior patterns, the stronger their neural pathways become, and the more automated we'll recall them in the future. That applies for both positive and negative patterns. That's why regular mental fitness training matters and pays off. So even if I don't roll out my mat during lunch break, this is a routine that has become so essential that I do it kind of habitually now, and that improves my entire work experience. Because no workout or healthy lunch can compensate for a lack of motivation. It's changing our mental and emotional state that makes the decisive difference here. I hope this video could show you a new way to prepare yourself for the afternoon flow. As I said, feel free to comment which state usually keeps you from finding flow, and perhaps even questions that help you to overcome these unproductive states. Other than that, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching till the very end. I see you next time. Bye bye.